Hey, y'all, come on in, come on in. Listen, times are getting harder. And so much is happening right now as we come into a close for the 2025 year. So much has happened, and we only have 2 more months in a year, and it seems to every single day be something. So, this something, unfortunately, is not good. Now, I know that God can move mountains and he can work things out in your favor, and he will do that. But in the meantime and in between time, we have to deal with the fallout of everything that's going on. And now we have the trucking industry fall into it as well. So I first heard about this through my husband tonight, who is a trucker, over the road trucker. And he said, I said, well, I'm in here and I'm searching and looking for stories and stuff, things that's going on that maybe not all over the news, and I can bring it to the people. And he said, well, did you hear about Montgomery Trucking? I said, no, what about him? He said, well, one of his homeboys, one of his friends worked for the company, and they got paperwork saying shut it down. And I'm like, just shut it down like that? He's like, yeah, they filed bankruptcy, and they were told if they have a load, if they're close to home, go head on home. So I'm gonna get into the story. I'm gonna read the story for you. This is devastating news for the industry. It's devastating news for the long haul of America, because we all know that if those wheels are not spinning with the truckers, we're going to see problems down the road. Now, this is a flatbed company, so it's not like they're hauling food or anything like that. But we've had companies that are that had the reefer trucks, which is the refrigerated trucks, that did carry food and things of that nature, have restructured and either laid off or just closed altogether. So this is not looking good. Let's get into the story. Before we do, take a moment and help the channel out. Help me out over here by hitting that like, sharing the video out, leaving comments. And if you are new, welcome in. I hope you decide to subscribe to the channel. And if you do, turn your notifications on. And if y'all are already subscribed, turn your notifications on, because I do post videos sometimes multiple times a day, depending on the news cycle. I've weaned myself down to maybe one video a day, unless there is a lot going on. Then I'll try to pump out 2 videos. So let's get into this one. 1,000 employees out of work as flatbed operator files for bankruptcy. So this sudden shutdown has left hundreds of drivers stranded across America as the company's leadership instructed them to halt the operations. This abrupt closure represents a significant disruption in the trucking industry and has created immediate challenges for both the drivers, the clients, because see, the clients, they have their orders on those trucks. They're already out for delivery. It's a freight service. The company officially announced Chapter 7 bankruptcy filing, which indicates a complete liquidation rather than a reorganization. Unlike the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, which allows companies to restructure while continuing operations, they were actually in the process of trying to sell off their business to another company. But because of a lawsuit that came up against them, that was null and void. So they were told to file a Chapter 7, and that signals the complete cessation of business activities, meaning everything stops immediately. The announcement came suddenly, with employees receiving notification with almost no advance warning, forcing an immediate operational halt across the company's network. The bankruptcy has resulted in approximately 1,000 employees losing their jobs. That's people who are working in the office, whether it's dispatchers or whoever. If they're in the office, they don't have a job. The place is closed, including 600 truck drivers who were actively working on deliveries across the country when the announcement was made. The company has instructed drivers who are close to home to return and await further instructions. Those currently completing deliveries have been told to finish their current loads, but not to accept any new assignments. The widespread impact has created an immediate employment crisis for hundreds of families dependent on the company for their livelihoods. This is so close to Christmas. Now, the plus is if you are a great truck driver, it might not take you long to find another one. But if you are a struggling truck driver already with performance and all of that stuff, it may take you a while. But I have heard, and I've seen some TikTok videos that I'm going to show you where some companies have said that they are willing to hire some of Montgomery truckers. According to internal communication shared by employees, Montgomery Transport's financial troubles began unfolding earlier this year. In June 2025, the company's principal owner, One Equity Partners, reportedly decided to exit the trucking industry and sell the company. By July 2025, P&S Transportation had begun due diligence to purchase Montgomery Transport with a planned closing date of September 30th. Well, that date has come and that date has gone, because on September 26th, right before they were supposed to be, what did I say? Closing on the 30th. On September 26th, a lawsuit and a restraining order filed by Rawlings Montgomery reportedly halted that sale process, with the traditional purchase agreement derailed. The company attempted to proceed with the sale through the Chapter 11 bankruptcy, meaning they would restructure everything while keeping all the trucks running and everything going. But by October 8th, the situation had deteriorated further when creditors failed to reach consensus terms, forcing the company to convert to a Chapter 7 bankruptcy, which means they had to shut down operations completely and immediately. In its communications to drivers, Montgomery Transport has stated that payroll is being protected for work already performed. Drivers currently delivering loads have been instructed to complete those deliveries with assurances they will be compensated. I hope that's the case. I really, really do. The company directed drivers near the Birmingham terminal to return there, while those closer to their own homes were told to go home and wait for further instructions. Despite these provisions, the sudden closure leaves significant uncertainty regarding final payments, benefits, and other employment-related matters. The announcement has had a profound emotional impact on the employees. One employee shared that it's an emotional day as Montgomery Transport is out of business effective immediately, asking for prayers as hundreds of drivers and office workers are now without a job today, he said. Another stated, I poured my heart and soul into that company. I love the truck industry. I love my truck driver buddies. I'm sorry, and I'm heartbroken. So the trucking community has responded quickly, with competing carriers reaching out to displaced drivers with employment opportunities. Several companies have specifically directed their recruiting department to contact former Montgomery Transport drivers, recognizing the skilled workforce suddenly available in the market, and seeing how a lot of truckers are losing their CDLs, especially the ones that are not from the United States and have not been able to pass the new law that Trump has created about knowing how to read a sign and other things. So the trucking industry has already taken a hit from that, and now they're taking a hit from this. So I'm pretty sure some of these drivers will find a job, but listen, you have to be careful when you go to certain trucking companies, because they will tell you one thing and do another. They will promise you a bonus. They will promise you all this, that, and the third, but please read the fine print, okay? So the sudden closure of the Montgomery Transport represents not only a business failure, but a significant disruption for hundreds of families. While truck drivers may find new opportunities due to their specialized skills, office staff and support personnel face a more challenging job market. Exactly. The collapse highlights the fragile state of transportation companies in today's economy and the ripple effects when such operations cease. As the situation continues to develop, the focus remains on supporting the displaced workers, while the legal and financial aftermath of a bankruptcy unfolds in the weeks ahead. And the post read, 1,000 employees out of work as flatbed operators. They filed for bankruptcy, and that is according to Freight Waves. Then over on TikTok, let's go over to TikTok, as a matter of fact. So let me pull it back up. I'm working without my glasses tonight. So let's listen to a few of these.
Hey, what's up, everybody? All right, y'all. So Montgomery Transport have officially closed their doors, man. This is a sad day, which was yesterday, was the 9th of October. But, you know, it's been hard for me to process it because I worked there for almost 2 years, uh, met a lot of great people, still was friends with a lot of people that worked there. I actually thought that P&S was going to buy them out, but apparently that didn't work out.
All right, y'all. So here what's going on. Montgomery Transport is going out of business. The company just announced they're shutting down today. Back in June, the owners decided to get out of the trucking business. Then P&S came in to buy the company, but a lawsuit and restraining order stopped the sale. They tried to save things by filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, but when that didn't work, they had no choice but to go into Chapter 7 and completely shut down. So if you're a driver, they said to finish your current load, but don't pick up anything new. Payroll is still being processed for what's already been done. Basically, the company's done, and they're closing up shop effective immediately.
What's going on, my truckers? I got to give a huge shout out to David's Express Inc.
All right, y'all. So here what's going on. Montgomery Transport is going.
What's going?
Well, good evening, America. How the hell are you? Guys, I just saw all over the interweb, Montgomery Transport is ceasing operations immediately. Finish your load and go to the yard. I have never had a place I worked for do that, except for my first place. They did that to us. We all went to work Monday morning. Gates were locked. It was a local company. But I wasn't there very long. So my heart goes out to the Montgomery Transport drivers. If you see some and they need help, help them out. Buy them a Subway sandwich. Buy them a soda. Montgomery transport drivers, if y'all need a place to go, I got a place for you. I'm gonna put a link in the comments. I'm with ATS. Fantastic. I'm no longer with Vista. I'm with ATS.
All right, drivers, let's hear your opinions. With the recent close of Montgomery Transport yesterday, Carroll Former not too far ago, what do y'all think is the cause of it? Do you think it's market, freight rates? Do you think it's bad business practices, bad upper management? What's y'all's opinion? What do y'all think is causing these trucking companies to close down? Let me know in the comments. I think it's a little bit of everything, market, the way they operate, and, operating costs, because operating costs for a company, owner, operator is outrageous right now. Insurance is crazy. So let me know what y'all think. Put it in the comments. All right, see you. All right, drivers.